Hi guys, it's your boy Skillz and you're watching Life and Living, your #1 channel for health and lifestyle. This is that channel where we bring you different health food seeds, all right, for your daily pleasure. We advise you on what to do weekly as per your health. So last week we brought you 7 sleep tips for you to have good sleep at night. But this week we'll bring you a much more interesting topic, all right? We're talking about 10 healthy lifestyle tips for adults, okay? So number 1, we're talking about eat variety of foods. That's number 1, okay? Eat different variety of foods. So it is known that your body needs over 40 nutrients daily for it to function better, okay? And no single food can provide that number of nutrients. So it is advised that you eat variety of foods, all right, every day for you to be able to get those number of nutrients that your body requires. So one of the other thing that you should also understand is that a high-fat lunch could be followed by a low-fat dinner. What does that mean? All right, it means that you take a high-fat lunch in the morning or probably at noon time. Don't repeat that type of food again, maybe before sleep time, all right? Take a low-fat diet so to balance it all and be able to get all the nutrients that you need. Another tip is, after a large meat portion at dinner, perhaps fish should be the next day's choice, all right? I believe that is very, very explanatory, okay? You've taken maybe meat in the morning or at noontime. Let fish be the next thing that you're going to take. Base your diet on plenty of foods that are rich in carbohydrates. What does that mean? At least your daily consumption of calories, half of it should be gotten from these foods. Foods like cereals, rice, pasta, potato, and bread. It is a good idea to include at least one of these at every meal. Whole grain foods like whole grain bread, pasta, and cereals will increase your fiber intake. So, guys, that is your number 2 point. Base your diet on plenty of foods that are rich in carbohydrates. Replace saturated with unsaturated fat. Fat is important and vital for good health and proper functioning of the body. However, it can negatively affect your weight and cardiovascular health. So what does that mean, guys? Different kinds of fats have different health effects, and some of these tips can help us keep the balance right. Some of them are: we should limit the consumption of total and saturated fats, often coming from foods of animal origin, and completely avoid trans fats. Reading the labels helps to identify the sources. Another one is eating fish 2 to 3 times a week with at least 1 serving of oily fish will contribute to our right intake of unsaturated fats. When cooking, you should boil, steam, or bake rather than frying. Remove the fatty part of meat. Use vegetable oils. Enjoy plenty of fruits and vegetables daily. Fruits and vegetables are among the most important foods, that is required by the body, where we get, enough minerals, energy, and vitamins. So at least take 2 or 3 servings per day. For example, a glass of fresh fruit juice at breakfast, perhaps an apple and a piece of watermelon as snacks, and a good portion of different vegetables at each meal. So you see, guys, take fruits and vegetables daily, all right, because they are very, very necessary, okay? Reduce salt and sugar intake, all right? A high intake of salt can result in high blood pressure and increase your chances of cardiovascular disease. And there are several ways, different proven ways, to reduce the salt in your diet. Some of them are: when shopping, we should choose products with lower sodium content. When cooking, salt can be substituted with spices, increasing the variety of flavors and tastes. When eating, it helps not to have salt at the table. or at least not to add salt before tasting. When it comes to sugar, sugar provides sweetness, alright, and an attractive taste to our meals or food. But it is best enjoyed occasionally. Now, you could use fruits to replace, sugar in your meal. Eat regularly, but control the portion size. Eating a variety of fruits at the right amount has always been the best formula for a healthy diet, okay? But on the flip side, intentionally or maybe unintentionally skipping breakfast can lead to a out of control hunger, which results in helpless overeating. But how do you curb that, guys? Okay, take snacks in between. Snacking between meals can help control hunger, but snacking should not replace proper meals. For snacks, we could choose yogurt, a handful of fresh or dried fruits, vegetables like carrot sticks, unsalted nuts, or perhaps some bread with cheese. Paying attention to the portion size of your food is key and very, very essential, so that you don't by yourself, induce overeating, which leads to overweight. Drink plenty of fluids. Adults need at least 1.5 liters of water daily, or more if it's hot or they are very active. Of course, water is the best source, and we can use tap or mineral water, sparkling or non-sparkling, plain or flavored, fruit juices, tea, soft drinks, milk, and other drinks can all be okay from time to time. Maintain a healthy body weight. The right weight for each of us varies. They depend on factors like gender, age, height, or even genes. Being overweight or having too much body fat can cause wide ranges of diseases like diabetes, heart diseases, or even cancer. So how does overweight come? It comes from eating more than we need, alright? The extra calories can come from any caloric nutrient, protein, fat, carbohydrate, or alcohol. But fat is the most concentrated source of energy. But physical activity helps us spend the energy and makes us feel good. The message is reasonably simple. If you want to reduce your weight, eat less and be more active. Get on the move, make it a habit, okay? Physical activity is important for all people of different weight ranges and health conditions. It helps us burn off the extra calories. It is good for the heart and circulatory system. It maintains or increases our muscle mass. It helps us focus and improves overall health well-being. We don't have to be top athletes to get on the move. 150 minutes per week of moderate physical activity is advised, and it can easily become part of our daily routine. We all could use the stairs regularly, okay? Go for walks during lunch breaks, especially when you're in the office, or make out time for family and activities. So this helps to reduce, overweight or different health implications of not exercising regularly. Lastly, start now and keep changing gradually. Gradual changes in our lives are easier to maintain and manage than bigger ones that are introduced all at once. For a starter, for 3 days, what you did for 3 days, you can write down things, foods and drinks that you consumed daily, or take notes of your physical activity for each day. What are the areas that you could look at? Some of them are you skipping breakfast regularly? Here is how to checkmate on that. A small bowl of muesli, a piece of bread or fruit could help slowly introduce it into our routine. Is it too few fruits and vegetables? You can curb that by starting with or introducing one extra piece a day. So in conclusion, guys, these are the 10 healthy lifestyle tips for adults. We've talked about the foods you can take, We've talked about, the things you can do especially when it comes to exercise and your physical activity. And we've talked about the fruits that you can take, especially when it comes to, vegetables and the likes of them. And we talked about water as well. Okay, so when you put all these things together, you see that your daily life is healthy, especially when you are an adult. So this brings us to the end of our show for this week. All right, I want to say a very big thank you to all our viewers, especially those who have commented and liked our videos at one point or the other. I also want to encourage us to subscribe to our channels. All right, you can search for us. We are at Life and Living 5. I'll say that again, at Life and Living 5. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we are on YouTube. Okay, so whichever platform you are on, we are there for you. So thank you guys. It's still your boy Skillz, and you've been watching Life and Living. Have a great week.